Hey everyone, it's Wizrad, and yes, this is going to be my thoughts about the Nintendo Direct Mini that was released on January 11th, 2018. I just want to get this up for you guys as quick as possible. This is going to be included in episode 8 of No Filter Nintendo Podcast, but let's get started here, guys. Alright, so the Direct starts off with a banger, The World Ends With You Final Remix, and that's going to be available this year. That's all they gave it. But I can imagine this is going to be a pretty early release. I don't think this is going to take much effort to actually port over. I know that they have this extra story content in there now, which is really cool. But, the game's on iOS and Android devices. I think it's like maybe $20 or something like that, maybe 15. So if this releases for like a full retail price, fuck you, Square Enix. I mean, I love this game. It's one of my favorite games of all time, but come on, like, give us some fucking slack here. There's no way this should be a full price game, especially if it's getting ported from iOS and Android devices that already has it for probably really cheap. So the next is Pokken Tournament Deluxe Battle Pack. So this has 2 waves. I think Nintendo likes to do this with their DLC now, and it includes characters or Pokemon like Aegislash, Rayquaza, Mew, Blastoise. It looks like quite a bit of content for this game, and it's releasing in January and in March, so that's cool, but I have really no concern or care for Pokken, so that won't be a game for me. Next was Kirby Star Allies. That's releasing on March 16th, which is about what I was expecting for this game. I thought they'd try to make it early into spring, and that's what they did here, so it's really cool. I might get it. I've never been the biggest Kirby fan. I usually like the crazy kind of knockoffs that they do more than the actual mainstream or mainline games. But this might be something I'll pick up if I'm really starving for Switch releases or something, which I probably won't be. That might be a game I just pick up. Next is they just did a brief announcement saying the Kirby Battle Royale demo is out on Nintendo eShop for the 3DS, so I might be downloading that later today. Dragon Quest Builders demo was releasing today on the Switch, which is really cool. I'm definitely getting that demo to see what it's like. Next, they showed off Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition. So this was a bit interesting here. So I have never played a Warriors game, and I really wanted to jump in with Hyrule Warriors. I just didn't want to buy it on the Wii U. So I waited. I ended up getting Fire Emblem Warriors for Switch on over Christmas, and I would have wanted to play Hyrule Warriors first because I have more care for the Legend of Zelda characters. So right now my predicament is that I'm going to be playing Fire Emblem Warriors. If I enjoy the game, then I will definitely be buying Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition. That was the one I wanted to play most, but because it wasn't on Switch, here we are now. It is released on Switch, and I guess it includes all the 3DS content and the Wii U content. I think they said something about it like before launch or something like that, or before purchase or something like that. So I don't think it's all the DLC. I think it's all the characters and all the stuff that was released for free. But I feel like they did have paid DLC after that isn't going to be included here or something like that. So we'll see. Maybe I heard that wrong, but that's coming out in spring 2018. Very cool. Mario Tennis Aces. So this was a big one for me. So this is a new Mario Tennis game, obviously, and the last one they had, Ultra Smash on Wii U, just seemed like a big phone-in, cash-in, horrible, no effort put into it kind of a game. This one seems pretty good. It was interesting, when they zoomed in on the Mario's faces, it looked like really low resolution kind of a thing. I was a little taken aback, but then, when you actually got into the game thing, this looked smooth, it looked nice, it looked full. And apparently it has a story mode, and it has unique aspects and a new approach to the Mario Tennis game, so I'm hopeful for this. It seems like they're actually putting effort into this now. I want to see who the developer is. I swear they gotta do good with Mario Tennis. Mario Tennis was one of my favorite games on the N64, loved it on GameCube, and they just kind of dropped the ball with it on 3DS and the Wii U, and I'm super looking forward to this. Having a Mario Tennis game handheld is fantastic. So again, this is releasing spring 2018, story mode, new approach. I'm really hopeful for this game, so that is a huge buy for me. Next, they announced Ys 8, Lacrimosa of Dana, or Dana. So that's releasing this summer. I've never played an Ys game before. I've always seen them. I've seen them on sales, and I was like, man, I know this is something I could get into. But it's always a little intimidating when you see, an 8 behind the name. So it's like, oh, I must have missed so much already. Can I really jump into this series? And that's what I think is always kind of the trouble with games like Final Fantasy, for example, for the casual player. Even though they kind of reached more of a casual crowd, but a lot of people might not know and probably just don't even really look it up if it's just a direct sequel, or if it's just part of the world that they'll be missing out on a lot. So a lot of people might skip it. But yeah, that's one game that I might be looking towards. That's a maybe for sure, and that's coming out this summer. Next game, a Super Mario Odyssey free update, which is really cool. I was anticipating DLC, paid DLC for Mario Odyssey, and I feel like that could still come out. But this is pretty cool here. So they showed off Luigi's Balloon World, which is kind of a new mode. I imagine there'll be one Luigi in each level, and basically it's like a hide and seek game where you have, I guess it's 30 seconds to go hide the balloon somewhere. So the other player gets an arrow. They see, oh shit, I gotta get there, and they have to catch it within that 30-second time limit. And that's pretty cool to see. I think that's going to be a really fun mode, and I'm definitely going to hop back in there to play that. It also includes new outfits and new filters for your snapshot mode, and that's out this February. So that's really cool. Again, I love that Nintendo does these free updates, because this is legit content here, guys, and that's going to be a lot of fun. So that's definitely a must-grab for me. Next is Snk Heroines Tag Team Frenzy. I have no idea about the SNK, characters. It seems super waifu and all that kind of stuff. I'm not a big fighting game fan, so I'm going to be skipping out on that, but it is this summer for those who are interested, as well as ACA Neo Geo Art of Fighting 2, which launches today on the Switch eShop. I'm not the biggest fighting game fan. I will get into some when they tempt me enough. But that's a no-go for me as well. But again, that's out today, which I love when they do these announcements. Hey, it's releasing today. It's out right now. Next game is Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle. So they had a really cool trailer for this. The new story DLC includes Donkey Kong. Yes, so that was a really cool trailer. I was hoping that they'd have the Kong Rabbid like face off against Donkey Kong or something like that. I feel like that could be in the story, honestly. It's pretty cool. He had like a boomerang banana, throwing Rabbid Peach really far. I feel like that might be his ability, where like he runs maybe slow or something, but then he can climb stuff, or maybe he just throws people extra far. That'll be really cool, guys. So that's releasing this spring. So I still haven't bought the Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle DLC. I'm going to have to see kind of what the story is. I love that game, but I don't know if I want to spend, I think it was like a $25 in Canadian to get the DLC, which is kind of absurd. It might be $30 actually. So like this is going to have to be a lot of content. I'm going to want to see some reviews of it before I really jump into it. But that's definitely a maybe for me, and it looked really cool. Next is Payday 2. And so this one has exclusive character, Joy with an LED mask, which looked really cool, and some other cool features, some timed exclusive stuff in there. That's releasing February 27th. It's a maybe for me. I've heard good things about Payday, but it all depends on the price for me. This is another one of those games where it's like, it's been out for so fucking long everywhere else. It's probably been on Black Friday sales up the wazoo everywhere. This better be a discounted game here. It doesn't have to be, $15 discounted, 40 maybe, 30, 40, that's what it should be. That's what I imagine. If it was a $30 price tag in Canada, then that's a must buy for me. I'd get it day one. But, if they try to pull out a $79.99 in Canada, no fucking way am I buying that game. So it's a maybe for me right now. Next, they showed two indie games, I guess you could say, but one is called Faye, which is an EA original. So this is from Zoink Games, who did Stick It to the Man, and they're doing the other game soon as well. Faye, so that's really cool. That's definitely a must-buy for me. I appreciate their work, and they do some good stuff, so that's definitely a must-buy, and it looks really cool, like the art style and how everything's going. It makes me think of a game like the Abzus or Journeys, so really cool. And the other indie game they showed off was Celeste, which I've heard really good things about, and it looked really fun. The art style might turn off a lot of people when they see something like that, because there's a lot like it, but it did really seem fluid and looked like a lot of fun. It's a maybe for me. I have so many indie games to get, and so many they didn't include in this direct, so that's one thing I might have to look at after. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, so this includes Funky Kong. He's on a snowboard or a surfboard, sorry, and he's, he can jump on spikes and stuff like that, and he can spin in the air. May 4th, so that's cool. I don't think I'm going to be jumping in on this again. If it was a dual pack with the first and this Tropical Freeze, then maybe I might jump into it, but I absolutely love the game on Wii U. Anyone who hasn't played it should definitely buy it, but I already bought it. I'm not really interested in these characters that kind of make it easier for you to go through. I love just going through normally as Donkey Kong or Diddy Kong. Yeah, guys, if you missed out on this game, go buy it. It is something special. Yeah, and the last announcement they had was Dark Souls Remastered, which was releasing on May 25th, which I believe is the latest date that they announced here. But yeah, the trailer was really cool. Like the whole fire, the campfire thing is always pretty cool in Dark Souls. It's interesting. I've only ever played Dark Souls 2. I absolutely loved it. I could not beat it though. I think just other kind of games kind of came up, and maybe I got stuck at a point that I was like, you know what? I had my good 20 hours in this. I'm good. But I kind of want to know more. Like, this is just the first Dark Souls, and it's remastered, like a game that's probably 6+ years old. I don't know what to think about this. So this is a maybe for me. I do love Dark Souls, and if this was on a sale or something for $30, then yeah, I'd be buying this for sure. To be able to play this on the go, again, guys, we can't understate how great it is to play these games on the go. Having a PS4 now and really getting into all these games, it makes me, I'm spoiled with the Switch for having everything on the go. So don't undersell games being on the go. That is a big selling point, but I don't know, something about that might not work out well with me. But anyways, guys, that's all the announcements for this Nintendo Direct Mini. Overall, I kind of wonder why do they do the mini directs, especially when they've been kind of, even though it was manufactured elsewhere by other people, they kind of fed the hype a little bit with the, the Chibi Robo on Flame and the Nintendo New York doing the hot dog guy, they kind of fanned the flames a little bit. But, they have so many more games they could be showing off here. And especially in a format like this, they could have easily done a good full 25 minutes, maybe even more, really. But you know what? I get it. 25 minutes is a lot if you're just doing hot takes like this constantly. But, they could have shown even a lot more, and seeing how much hype there was with this, I feel like even just showing more content would have been great. They still had a lot, guys. There's like 20 announcements almost in 14 minutes. So like, they were pumping these out, and there's quite a bit there. But yeah, they could have done more. They knew there was a lot of hype going into it, and there's definitely some good stuff here. Definitely not any crazy bangers, but there's a good handful of games I'm definitely buying. Quite a few that I'm going to be definitely looking into. And I love that the latest game they showed off was in May, whereas most was spring or January to March. It's pretty crazy. That's quite a bit of stuff coming out in spring of this year. It's pretty good so far, and they're leaving a lot for the end of the year as well. So I think they're really trying to fill out this year. They realize they're coming off of a really packed 2017. Maybe slow down on the big bangers for early this year, and they're saving the games like the Yoshis and the Fire Emblems, and if they have an Animal Crossing or whatever else they have coming out, they have quite a bit they can still release, and it's interesting for that. So yeah, overall though, it wasn't really a good feeling being let down by a thing from Nintendo again, kind of a thing, because all through 2017 it was constant surprise and good news, and I was never let down, something I was frequently with the Wii U days. It's kind of proof that when you have a ton of your content, letdowns aren't that easy. So like when they had so much stuff to bring out throughout 2017 and so many huge bangers that like now, when it is a little bit of a letdown with a direct that you're like hyping up yourself, it's a little disappointing to see that from Nintendo. And I feel like even if you did kind of limit your expectations, you did expect some more kind of new stuff from Nintendo released in this, because you think they'd want to start off 2018 with more of a bang than what they kind of did here. yeah, so that's one thing. Another thing is just it's kind of remake time. I get it, and I'm frankly kind of surprised there aren't more Wii U remakes already. I would have thought they'd have like a Wonderful 101 or Mario Maker, all this kind of stuff kind of released there already, because the Wii U has quite a few really great games to come out, and yeah, there's nothing. I'm surprised there aren't even more. But there are quite a few remakes here, so it kind of limits the hype that you have here. Really, yeah, almost everything is a remake as far as like new announcements, right? There's remasters, there's yeah, it's pretty much all remakes other than Mario Tennis and yeah, some of the other smaller games that they have out here. It's a lot of it is remakes, and that's just kind of how it is. That and DLC for existing games. So, like I don't have a problem with it, but I know that some people might. So that's one thing. And yeah, just to kind of go over this again, it's kind of upsetting seeing a game like Dark Souls Remastered. Like again, I've only played 2, but like this better be at a discounted price, guys. Like this is a 6+ year old game, maybe even longer, really, and it's remastered. Like, come on, it's it needs to be at a discounted price. I'm going to have a no filter rant about this at some point soon, but come on. Also, Tropical Freeze, it's not a dual pack. That's what would have made me buy it for sure. Fuck. And Payday 2, again, it better not be some absurd price. And yeah, I will be doing, I'm going to be doing a rant about this at some point soon about, the ports and stuff. It'll be a little bit different than what you guys think it's going to be, though, because I don't have an issue with the ports themselves, but we'll get into that another time. But thanks guys for watching. Hope you guys appreciated this segment and enjoyed that Nintendo Direct, because there are quite a few games coming out over the next few months, so look forward to that, people.